Hello everyone, my name is Jill, and in today's video I want to share kind of my goals and ideal habits and routines for 2026, which is already in about 20 days, I think. And so yeah, I've been thinking about this already, I think in October, November, because currently I feel like I'm at a really good place in my life. I feel like everything is going really well. I'm very happy with my career, with my relationships, with my health. I feel like I'm doing really great. And so I was thinking about what could be tweaked to be even better. And kind of also the routines that I just want to maintain, because sometimes you just gotta say, hey, it's already great where I'm at, and now kind of the goal is just to keep going. So yeah, I want to preface this by saying that I think setting too many goals and habits that are completely different from what you're doing now is kind of the worst mistake you can do. So really start slow. I've been building, I'm 25, nearly 26 years old, and I've been building a lot of these habits very slowly over a long period of time, because I've been obsessed kind of with self-development since many years. I had to overcome a few obstacles like an eating disorder and like things like that. And yeah, just build my self-confidence to the level where I'm at now. So just saying that I have had years of, building relationships, setting boundaries, finding routines that work for me, and just experiencing a lot of different things to where I'm at now. But yeah, I want to show you kind of how I set my goals, in what way, and maybe also how to track them because that's always the most difficult thing. It's like I've had so many years where I randomly look through an old journal and then find an old goals list where I'm just like, oh my god, those goals were just too intense, really, things where it was clear from the beginning on that it's too difficult for me. But yeah, let's start. So I've categorized kind of into habits and goals, whereas habits is more of the routines that I want to build on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and then also a few goals where I just have overall goals that are smart, in the sense of where I have a specific number, things like that, to reach by the end of 2026. Within habits, I have 3 categories, which are health, finances, and education. I want to again preface this by saying that in terms of kind of social and career, I'm currently super happy, and I don't think I have anything to improve, to be honest. Of course, spending more time with my family and things like that, but in the end, I do feel very good. I already have a lot of time planned in to spend with friends, family, and my boyfriend. So I feel like I'm on a really good track there. And when I spend time with them, it's always a great time. I'm super focused on the people, so I don't really see any way of kind of improving that, because I already feel very good about it. So I also don't see kind of the sense of putting pressure on it if I'm already happy with it. And the career is the same. I feel very confident and good with it. It's like it started very recently because I studied up until last year, so I'm only 1 year into my career now, like my proper career. So I also, again, don't want to put a lot of pressure into it, because I just recently switched jobs in April, so I just want to get into it. By the way, if you wonder why I'm wearing this, it's very cold because I live in an old house, as you maybe can see. Yeah, let's start with health. So as I said, I'm already pretty happy with how I'm doing currently. It's something that I've built over time, and now at the moment I'm very happy with it. But I set myself the habits goal of at least 2 times a week a strength training workout because I've had problems with my joints. Sometimes I wonder if it's just genetics or if it's because I had this eating disorder. And yeah, a very common kind of result of that is that your bones are just not as strong anymore, because I also lost my period, and yeah, that's a big side effect. So I wonder if I have joint problems or knee problems because of that. I don't know. My thing is just I want to do strength training so that I can kind of strengthen the muscles around the joints, so I can just grow old without any problems. And currently I'm doing this 2 times strength training a week, where I'm pretty happy with that. Then I set myself of the goal of 150-minute aerobic training a week, which I was thinking how I want to kind of optimize everything. And what I saw was that the WHO, I think it's called, the World Health Organization, recommends 150 minutes of aerobic training a week. So I was like, okay, let's do that. I think currently I'm definitely not at this amount a week. I do go on walks, I think around like maybe 1 to 3 times a week. I'm not sure if I want to count that as aerobic training, but let's see. Yeah. And then the third goal in this area is 2 walks in nature a week, just because I know it's the best thing I can do for my mental health. Whenever I feel down and then I go on a walk in nature, I just feel so much better. And also I usually combine it with socializing. So I go on walks with my mom or with my friends or my boyfriend. And then also in the health category, but it's more about like mental health, is a maximum average of 3 hours screen time per day, which sounds like a lot, but for me it's not a lot, because you have to consider that I watch a lot of YouTube on my phone, and so usually I don't even look at my phone, I just listen to it as a podcast. But of course the screen time is on, like it's a video running, so I do have a lot of screen time currently, a lot more than 3 hours. I didn't want it to be too extreme, because I have usually on a work day in office, I have 2 hours of commute per day, and I try to reduce my screen time during commute, but sometimes it just feels forever sitting in the bus with 1,000 people, and I just want to go and make time go by faster. So yeah, I wanted to be more or less, yeah, kind of okay with that. And my strategies for that is just to switch more from YouTube to podcasts. I've already stopped Instagram and TikTok because I just deleted it. Sometimes I'm still on YouTube Shorts, but usually the shorts are so bad that I just stop it. I'm still a lot on YouTube, so yeah, as I said, I want to switch more to podcasts rather than YouTube. Yeah, because also the YouTube videos I'm watching, I'm watching a lot of personal finance, but usually they're kind of repetitive. I don't really learn anything new, so I rather want to kind of go into learning from past incidents, wars and stuff like that. I think it's super interesting, and also, yeah, news and learning about what the world is doing right now, which I don't do right now. And then the last health point is to journal once a week. Again, I didn't want to do it to the extreme. Currently, I really do it like once every 2 months that I take the time to journal. And yeah, and also I didn't say like journal 3 pages or anything. It can also be like just a very short paragraph, just kind of getting into the habit. And taking the time for my mental health is really important. And it sounds like a lot, but as I said, I've already gotten a lot into the routine of working out, so I don't think that's gonna be too hard. And again, it's a habit. It's okay if I miss it 1 week. It's just about the average. Then finances. I feel like I'm doing really good with it, so I don't want to be too strict on it. But what I did is a $50 or francs eating out budget a week, which, yeah, for some people also might sound like a lot, maybe not, I don't know. The way I thought about this is that before I started thinking about finances like 2 months ago, I never brought lunch to work. I never brought breakfast, or I barely brought breakfast. And so I spent like 5 francs in the morning for breakfast, and then 10 to 15 on a lunch. So I would spend around 50 on eating out just for, you know, lunch at work and stuff like that, because I went to the office 3 times a week. And then going out to eat with friends and stuff like that came on top. So now I'm like, okay, if I have a week where I'm not really socializing, I can also treat myself to lunch at work, where it's just bringing lunch. But if, you know, I know that I have a big dinner with friends, whatever, I can just be careful and make sure that I bring lunch to work during that week. So it kind of balances out. I think that's my thought behind that. And then the last habit that I want to get into is kind of under the category of education, which is 10 minutes of news per day. But good news, not just trash news, but really, you know, about economics, politics, and stuff like that, because I just want to educate myself. I am so interested in it, but I just always go to the more easy to consume media instead. And I want to, you know, put my precious time to things that actually I can benefit from and will get me further in life. Also, I'm doing Duolingo daily with French classes. I feel like I'm actually improving. So yeah, that's something I'm already doing. So I didn't put too much. I think if I do like 10 minutes of really good educational news per day, and then also about 10 minutes of Duolingo, learning a language a day, I'm already really good. So those are kind of the 3 categories for the habits: health, finances, and education. Which, yeah, I'm just excited to improve. I think that's fine for me. Yeah, I think next year, or this year and next year, are more focused on health and finances rather than other things, just because I feel very good, for example, about self-confidence or my relationships this year. So yeah, then I have these different categories of goals. So the first goal is to sell or throw away items that don't bring joy or purpose, and I set on the amount of 50 pieces at least. I've already been into that this month. I've sold around 10 items on kind of something similar to eBay that is very popular in Switzerland. It's called Ricardo. And yeah, it's going quite okay. A lot of things don't get sold, which is okay, but yeah, my goal is just to put them on the platforms, and like I now have a box where I put any items that I put on eBay, and if it doesn't get sold, then I just go and bring it to a secondhand shop or trash. Yeah. And the goal is just that I feel like I have a lot of stuff that is just one of many cupboards, because this apartment is huge and I have a lot of space to put random items that I don't need. So I really want to get rid of it and also make a bit of cash. Then my second goal is build up enough strength for 1 normal push-up. I currently cannot even do a proper women's push-up, which is kind of when you're on your knee and do a push-up. I'm training at least once a week. I try to do push-ups, but it's too hard for me. Then a 1.5 minute plank. Okay. Yeah, currently definitely not there, but I know, like, I did it in the past, I know I can do it again. It's just a matter of training. And yeah. And then the third goal is to do a 30-minute 5K. And again, this one I've done in the past, but currently, because of my knee issues, I haven't been running much. So let's see how that goes. And then the third goal is to get to a amount of net worth. I don't want to say the number out loud, but it is a very ambitious goal. I put like my budget tracker and everything, and if I reach that goal, that will be insane. I don't really know how to reach that. It's, if I budget really nicely and don't spend a lot of money, I have maybe 10k less than this goal. So I really need to push to get, either the market is going really well, or I really need to push on like other sources of income to get to this net worth goal, but let's see. Then to read 8 books. This year I've been really bad, or actually no, I think I read maybe 6 books. I'm currently reading this one, but as you can see, it's going really badly. And I've had this since I think like 2 months or 3 months, so I really need to continue. But it's a kind of a heavy book, so maybe I need to choose some easy to read books instead. But yeah, my goal is to read 8 books because actually I love reading books. I don't know why I don't anymore. And then to finish 8 paintings. Currently, I think this year I'm now on my 3rd painting, which is not good at all. I love painting, but it's just, yeah, it takes a lot of time, and I'm very perfectionistic when it comes to that. So let's see how, maybe 8 is a bit good. I'm gonna correct it to 5 paintings because I think 8 is too much pressure. So I'm gonna do 5 paintings instead. And how I'm gonna track these, I think I'm gonna try to do a quarterly reset of those goals and like looking at it and maybe updating it. And yeah, that's about it. What I really love to do is having a calendar. I do everything on Google Calendar. And for example, about the habits, I really put in time blockers for all of my habits, and also bigger blockers on weekends, for example, for reading or for painting or whatever. So that's kind of how I'm approaching that, and maybe my goals inspired you. I think the most important thing is to not overdo it. I think this is already at the very, very maximum. And I also think if you kind of focus on a few areas of life that you want to improve, it's a bit easier than having like every area of life 3 different habits, you know. But yeah, let's see how that goes. I'm very excited for 2026. 2025 has been amazing to me. A lot of good things have come to me. I don't know if it's manifesting. I just know that, like, for example, weirdly enough, I also had kind of a net worth goal for this year. And in the past 2 or 3 months, really random money amounts came to me and my boyfriend. Like, for example, we rented an apartment for 1.5 years, and now they paid us back because we overpaid some things on the utilities, and now we just in total received like over 2,000. So for me, 1,000. Then also similar to like health insurance and things like that, I randomly received money from different sources. So that's really nice. I think sometimes you just gotta believe in your goals and imagine yourself with it, and somehow it's gonna find a way to you. So I hope I can do at least the normal push-up. I think that's my biggest goal for next year. But yeah, I wish you happy kind of 2026 planning. I'm a big planner, so for me that's a lot of joy. And also I have my really nice journal. I bought this for a lot of money, but it's very pretty. I don't know if you can see it. I bought it in Venice in Italy, so good memories. And yeah, with that I wish you a lovely Sunday evening and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.